Hi, welcome. I am so glad you've joined today. I'm Kelley Pitts with createwithkelley.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Lubbock, Texas since 2005. So that's about 17 years I have been doing this, so it's exciting. I was just doing laundry moments ago and lost my cool. So hopefully I can keep my cool while we're doing this video. I just wanted to share with you a birthday card that I'm about to give to Tanya Cook. Her birthday was earlier this week, and I was late getting the card done because I could not ever get everything together to do this video, and only had supplies cut for her to do her card. So I am glad that you're here. Please comment when you come on and let me know who you are and where you're from. Would love to hear that. And if you'll just give StreamYard permission to share your name and likeness, then I can see exactly who it is instead of seeing Facebook user if you're on Facebook. So I'm happy to have you here, whether you're watching it live on YouTube or live on Facebook, or you are watching the replay. I really appreciate you watching and commenting and sharing. I really like to spend a lot of time creating and would love to share that with more people than I can see just here in Lubbock, Texas. So that's all about you and spreading the word. If you like my creations and want to share those with crafty friends, I would love that if you'd share them on your platforms, whatever you're watching from. So happy that you're here. I will go ahead and talk a little bit about what we're doing today. We are going to be using the Earthen Textures bundle and from Stampin' Up! And this is in our annual catalog, the 23-24 annual catalog. Lovely stamp set, and it's number 161504. That's the item number. We'll also be using some greetings or sentiments from the Something Fancy stamp set. Sorry for the glare there. We're going to use the happy birthday and I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration portion. Then we're also going to look, here's the item code 160416. Sorry, I can't get this straight. I'm running into my little stand back there. Okay, the next one, no, I don't think I'm using this one today. I changed my mind, so I'm just using that other one. Also using the deckled rectangles dies, and that is number 159173. 159, I better look at that again. 159173. And these are really flexible. You can use those for a lot of things. It's a great set to have if you don't have the dies already with the deckled edge that's hot right now. Also using the Basics 3D. This is kind of the crosshatch looking one. It comes in a set of 3, and I am using this one. They don't really have a particular name, but they are on an online exclusive 161598, it looks like. Can't really read my own writing. My Sharpie marker closed up, I guess. Okay, so that's what we're using today to make this card. Let me give you a little close-up of what that's like. And actually, this was the second card I made in this series. The first one I used, I'll show you kind of how I came about with this card. And without tearing that set up, I took a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 designer series paper, and this is the Moody Mauve color. This is part of the Earthen Elegance designer series paper, and it's totally different from the card I did a week or so ago that used the paper Pretty Peacock and Copper Clay colors. So this one is the Moody Mauve, and I took the frame that I used on the previous card. Let's see if we can do this. So yeah, I made this one first, and we did this at our techniques class a couple of weeks ago. And then, before we did the class, I went ahead and cut this out, knowing that I would use it for something. So that's what I have done is taken the center that we didn't use for the techniques card, because all that's hidden behind this piece of Whisper White or Basic White. So we use that frame for that, and now I'm going to use the inside for this card. So you actually get 2 card designs out of the 1 sheet of accent paper, the designer series paper that's Moody Mauve, that's from the Earthen Elegance designer series paper. So that's what we're going to work on this one today, and I'll do a video of this one at another time if you would like for me to. We've got, let's get our stamps out here and our little pieces in our kit. Trying to keep just a few things here that we need. And when you come to one of my classes, I'll have the kit all put together like this for you, and with an envelope for you to make, and then have the samples out, and I'll help you with that. Okay, another paper that we're using is I believe it's called Subtle Glimmer paper or something like that. It comes in several different colors, and that is in the supply list that I've linked below. Hopefully it will already be showing up. We'll move some of this and get our Moody Mauve. This is the Moody Mauve paper, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 as usual. And I don't know if any of y'all have had any issues with your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I don't know if mine's just overused, but or if it's got something wrong with the rollers or something. I was going to see if any of y'all had an issue. This didn't quite, see, it didn't cover this part of the paper. And I think it's fine with this because it kind of looks distressed and different anyway, so it didn't really bother me. But I just wondered if any of y'all had some issues. Some of my dies aren't cutting totally properly, and the texture is not totally like it ought to be. So let me switch this camera around and make me tiny and get you the cards big. How about that? And so if y'all have any solutions on something I can do, take it apart. I've tried screwing the little screws in tighter and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I'm open to suggestions, that's for sure. I've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss that's going to go on my background. You can see that I did my die cuts out of that before I used it for the frame. And we're going to go ahead and get that on because we don't have any ribbon. We don't have anything to layer that would interfere with me going ahead and gluing it. So we're going to glue it. Yay, the glue's not clogged. I had a class yesterday. My wonderful friend Margaret Trantham brought a couple of her friends over, and we just had a wonderful afternoon of paper crafting. It was lovely. So if you ever want to do that, if you're ever thinking you want to do something special for some friends of yours, that is a treat that you could just set it up, and we could find a time we could all get together here in Lubbock and do some paper crafting. Okay, we've got, let's see, that is the next to largest decal edge die. Let's see, I was hoping I had a ruler running here, but I've got a pile as usual and do not see a ruler. But I will be posting the measurements on the blog post. That you probably have to cut your Blackberry Bliss at 4 1/4 by 5. 4 by 5 1/4, and then do that largest die on there, the largest decal die, which I've already lost. Here we go. Let's make sure it's the largest. I believe it is. Yes, that's the largest. And then the bubble bath layer is, I believe, nope, it's the next largest, the second largest. Yep, second largest for the bubble bath. And then I think we skip a layer for yep, we do. So then you'd have the 4th layer for the Moody Mauve DSP. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, and 4. for the sizes of those. We'll just set those out of the way because they get tangled up. Okay, now we're gonna, I did the same thing, went ahead and did my die cutting out of this layer before applying it. Just centering that with even border all the way around of that Blackberry Bliss. I just feel like that Blackberry Bliss really sets off the Moody Mauve nicely. And I'm just gluing all these flat because we have so much here that has dimension and that I use dimensionals on that I just glued everything flat. So what did I do with that piece? Of Moody Mauve DSP that I was just demonstrating for you. Did y'all see me do something with it? I've got the frame. Whew, here's one extra one, I guess. Don't know what happened to it. See if it was in there. No. Oh, this is typical for me. Definitely typical for today. It has been a hectic one. Okay. I think we have that all glued. Okay, I'm going to show you what I did with the, you saw where I cut these out. And I really think if you put multiples in a base, it's kind of too much, kind of looks too top heavy. And I'm just going to, I'm going to put this up here and show you. I just took and trimmed the sides of that down. So that's, it looks like almost like it's a different die altogether. And if this is, if it's awkward for you to flip it over, that one's probably not going to show anyway. If it's awkward for you to try to go backwards up here, you can always turn it, flip it upside down, and then you're cutting exactly the same way, if that makes sense. If you're kind of ambidextrous, it's not going to matter. Okay, I think I left the bubble bath one whole, but I'm going to trim it just a little bit, not quite as much as the Blackberry Bliss one. But you, just because a die is a certain way doesn't mean you have to leave it that way. You can alter it however you want. It's your card. You get to create it your way. Isn't that a nice thing about Stampin' Up? And we're going to kind of use a variety of the pampas grass kind of foliage in here. And I'm going to show you, I've already stamped the Moody Mauve, and I stamped once and then I stamped off, and I thought I'm not going to use that, but I may, because I may use some of the Blackberry Bliss to cover that up. So I'm just going to cut around this in general right now. Those stems aren't going to really show. I'm going to whack those off. So I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of cutting around here just to show you that even if you think you've made a mistake, you might be able to use it. We have a lot of opportunities that way, right? If you make a mistake and turn them into opportunities. We're going to cut around that. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the Blackberry Bliss. And we'll fussy cut that one out. And then we'll just play with them and see what we think. See how we'd like to do that. I'm going to cut that off because I kind of went off the edge when I was stamping that second time. And if you don't have the stamp fully stamped, you're going to have a line. I should have shown you that a little closer before I started trying to explain that, but I will do it in a minute. If I remember, try to show you what I meant. Okay, and you don't have to get every little nook and cranny, just kind of go in and out some so it looks feathery. I'm going to do that there. Whoop! That was not good. I kind of slashed that at an angle. Trying to make that work. I think that'll work. Okay, let's get us some Blackberry Bliss stamped. Let's try to get all this so y'all don't have to look at the mess. Get all that out of the way. into the trash. Okay. Let's see. We're going to stamp the little pampas grassy stamp. I'm going to have to move this up. Kind of move this where y'all can see. Hopefully. And I just had everything ready. I was sitting there. I had 3 minutes left. And then I realized that I had not put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And sometimes that, if you get a phone call, it'll cut off the video. So I had to stop and do that. And then that messed up the whole camera. So it's not where I had it. But hopefully it's okay for y'all. Let's try to get it a little better. Okay. We've got the little pampas grassy stamp. I don't know what y'all call it wherever you're watching from, but that's kind of what we call it here. I've never seen any in Blackberry Bliss, but that's okay. We take creative license. All right. I think I wanted to show y'all how that, I'm going to do 2 of them. Well, I'll go ahead and do second generation. It really changes up a lot and looks a lot more purpley. Can you see that? How much difference that makes when you stamp first and second generation there? Stamp full strength and then you just stamp off to the side. And I think that may be all we need. But I may stamp one more just in case. I'm going to stamp one here just in case we want some by itself without the second generation. All right. Now, while I've got the stamp out, we'll get that cleaned off. Hopefully, I brought my little cleaner in here. Yes, I did. Hope y'all are doing great today. Having a nice day wherever you are watching from. And y'all please be sure and comment on the video, even if it's a replay. I think I get notified whenever that happens. I hope so. I try to go back every once in a while and look and see if I've gotten new comments that have any questions that I need to answer. And looks like I've gotten stuff on this, but hopefully we'll cover most of that up. Okay, on the inside of this card, I did the mauve, and I think I'm going to do a couple of the grasses, or I may just stick one of these in there. Haven't decided. We're going to see. And I'm going to do the little greeting in Blackberry Bliss. And I always use my Stampin' Pierce mat. I use it even with my, looking for my mauve here, even with my cling stamps. I use it cling stamps or my clear photopolymer, either way. I just think that it works better with that cushion for me. Okay, so we just tap, tap, tapped, and always look on the back and make sure you don't have a mess anywhere that you need to clean off before you stamp. And we're just going to say, I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration in Blackberry Bliss. Then we're going to kind of see where our, I better stick with the pampas grass. That other one is too, whoops, nope, that's not what we're using. We're using the Blackberry Bliss one, which is the same size, so it'll be fine. I have die cut this little vase out of Blackberry Bliss, and we're gonna just kind of audition our pieces and see kind of how far down that needs to be, where the pampas grass needs to be. I think I'm going to kind of angle it like that. And we're going to do that in the Moody Mauve. And I guess I'm going to close this up. Do the mauve. And it doesn't really matter. You don't want to go all the way down, which I did do, and I need to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of a lot of that stems, or a lot of those stems, and just do the top part so that they'll fit properly in the vase. I'm going to do first generation, twist it a little bit, do second generation. So I have 2 colors. and then tried to aim them where they would fit into the vase, which they do. Hurrah! Doesn't always work, but it worked this time. So I'm happy about that. Let me clean this off. Well, the deep colors like the Blackberry Bliss tend to stain your stamps a lot if you don't get it off right away. So I'm going to get those cleaned off. And we will go ahead and glue this while we're at it on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of curve it a little bit. You don't really have to, on the inside, you don't have to do the dimensionals, but you could. We could put a couple of little ones in there if we want to. What the heck? It's going to be big on the front anyway, so let's just do that. I think, nope, I don't have the minis in here. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to cut the side here, kind of measure off what I need. And just put it right down the middle because we don't need it on the sides. This will be fine to stick it down. Okay, now that ties in the colors from the outside, brings them to the inside. And I'm going to use just a little bit of the Moody Mauve. We're going to see how this works. Ha! I'll take a little bit of the Blackberry Bliss on a, I don't have my water painter, so I better not do this. Afraid that's not going to do what I want it to. We'll see. I'm going to see if I can do that. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to blend it without the water painter. I'm using an old Wink of Stella here. I think I'm going to take that up. I'm just going to risk it and we'll see what happens. Should have done this before. Just kind of want to put something underneath that vase to kind of ground it. But if you use a water painter, it'll probably do a lot better for you. There we go. Now we have something to kind of ground that a bit. I'll use this Wink of Stella in here. Make it a little sparkly on the inside. Okay, and I probably should have done that opposite and done the middle highlighted and not the sides, but that works. So you can see that little detail. See how much it changes? That Blackberry Bliss really turns into a lilac-y, purpley color. But they all kind of blend, so I'm good with that. Get that off of the Wink of Stella. Okay. So we have our inside done and ready to get back after the outside. We've just got to stamp our little happy birthday. Just going to give that a second to dry. I think it's been long enough. We'll go ahead and mount that to the inside. You can use your Stampin' Seal or liquid glue, whatever your favorite is. Favorite adhesive. I like to use that silicone mat because I am a messy girl. I can get glue where you would never even guess I could get glue. There we go. Okay. We've got that finished. Now all we lack is our little happy birthday. Oh, and we've got to do a little fussy cutting here with our Blackberry Bliss. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the happy birthday with the Blackberry Bliss. There we go. That's done. So Moody Mauve and Blackberry Bliss is all I'm using on this particular card. So the Earthen Textures bundle and the Earthen Elegance DSP is very flexible, and you can use a lot of different colors and make kind of give it a lot of different moods for your cards based on what color and inks and paper that you choose out of that set. Okay, we're looking for the Something Fancy set right here, so I can put this back before I lose it. Okay, and this is the way I do my stamp sets. I know everybody kind of does a different way, but I pull them out and I turn the red rubber just down where it's not stuck. That way I can see these, and I don't, because I just don't like peeling them on and off of the backing all the time. I know a lot of people store them that way, and that's great. But I keep this sheet right there to protect that so they don't stick over here, if that makes sense. Hopefully. Okay, we're going to cut this out first. Just going to cut those apart. We don't know what all we're using of that. We shall see as we play. But I'm just going to trim this now. And I had my little trimmer in here. I was thinking one of these days I'm going to have a major overhaul in here and get everything organized. Everybody always says that, right? All of us crafters. I know there are a lot of people more organized than I am, that's for sure. We're just going to, I think that's close. We just want this to be pretty small. I'm trying to use that as a right angle, and I'm not sure that it is. We'll see. Just trying to line it up there. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. But if you hold this guard down pretty tight, it won't shift as much. Okay, so I have a little more room. I can trim it just a tad more. A tad, a smidge, whatever you want to call it. So that one I did straight. I think I'm going to do this one at an angle. No, I think I'm going to do it straight. Because the pattern in here is kind of straight, so I wasn't really excited about the angle part because of that. Okay, we're just going to do a simple happy birthday. Try to kind of get that even on both sides, the spacing between where it starts and where the lettering starts. That's pretty close. Okay, move our wonderful Stampin' Trimmer out of the way. And we'll get our little glue mat back. I've got to have a little sip of water. It's dry here in Texas. I don't know where y'all are. But it has been dry. It sure is nice that it's cooled off just a tiny bit. At least in the mornings and evenings, it is a little bit cooler here. So that is awesome. I'm ready for a little bit of cool fall. Don't necessarily want to give up totally on summer, but I do love fall. So, and I'm already working on Christmas cards. So it seems like it already should be cooler. I don't like the cold weather. Cold. Do y'all? Are you cold weather people or warm weather people? I'd love to hear that in the comments and see who likes what. What's your favorite season? My favorite season is definitely fall or autumn, whichever way you call it. And we're just, whoops, sorry, I was off screen there. Just chit-chatting away and didn't realize it. And y'all, if you have any questions whatsoever about this bundle or the suite or anything I'm working on, just please put it in the comments. I will try to watch those while I work on this. Of course, I should also watch when I'm on camera and when I'm off. The phone is moved up quite a bit. My little phone stand from where it usually is. So It's a little bit different. Okay, we're going to go in here and split these up right in between those. Okay, so I can put half on one side and half on the other if I want. And that means you have to refinagle kind of where your little ins and outs are to kind of make it look feathery. I'm just going with that for now. Okay, so now let's take this and we're going to what? We're going to audition our pieces. I don't know who I heard that from, but I really liked it. And I have used it ever since. Okay, we have some of the mauve. See, this has some kind of, it's muddy, kind of where I overstamped. I over inked it. But it's going to be fine as a background. See, behind that, we can make this work. We're going to put a couple of these in, and our little vase is going to be right here. We're going to do same kind of thing. I did foam adhesive sheets on the last one, and I liked that the best, but I don't think I brought them in here today. Did not think of that. So we're going to see how it works with double stacking dimensionals on this one. I'm not going to take the backs off yet. I'm just going to put these on. Well, in fact, I am going to take the backs off of this set. Try to get those straight where these bottoms kind of line up, the tops and bottoms. And we're going to double stack it. And I'm trying to get it just angled the same way between the layers of the dimensionals. This may be way too much, but we'll just see. Okay, and before we put that on, we're also going to put the little top here that was die cut separately out of Moody Mauve. And that is just going to glue on. I'm just going to glue the edge of this. And might should have done it this way. I'm not sure how that's going to stick to the foil or that glimmer side. Let's just see. That way you'll know, right? If I try it and it doesn't work, whoops, this is like that's a lighter color, isn't it? I thought I was doing that. Well, maybe it's, oh, I think I used the blending brush on that maybe and made it a little darker. But that's pretty right there. I hope my friend Tanya likes this birthday card and forgives me for being late because I didn't have my stuff done. Didn't want to miss showing y'all how to do it on the video. It makes it more special if you make a card especially for somebody. Okay, let's see if we like that or not. And we'll put this in. We can, in fact, put that over that if we want. We can put it behind. And this is what I was talking about on auditioning the pieces. Now I have lost. Oh, look at that. It stuck to my bracelet. Oh, my goodness. I wasn't going to take the backs off of that, but I did it anyway. And it did stick. Who knew? Okay, I guess we can go ahead and put that on there. But I think we'll be better off waiting a minute, getting this set first to know exactly where we want it. We've got a couple of the little strands, the mauve strands. I know I want those in the back. I'm kind of liking that. And then we may do a blackberry branch. I've got one of those. Let's see. Do we want the blackberry coming right behind this blackberry? It works over there. Maybe we want that to be a little bit skinnier one. Because you kind of want these at different levels, not all the same angle and not all the same height coming out, if that makes sense. And let's do that. And you can cut these stems so they don't interfere with each other, of course. Kind of do that way. Kind of get them how you want it. And then, okay, this may need to be that way. Like that. And then we have a bubble bath branch for in the center, I think, or I did originally. We're looking. Here it is. Now we'll kind of do that to hide that. See how all that kind of muddy stuff is hidden this way? Now, is this going to work with our thing? We might move it up just a tad. Okay. All right. So I think we're going to be good with these like this. I'm just going to take the end of that, leave everything else positioned, stick that down. And you don't have to get on every single little leaf or stem or anything. I'm kind of leaving it in position. I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Hopefully. I'm leaving the top ones open, and I'm going to just do some on that stem. I'm going to cut a little bit of it off. It was a little long. It's going to be in the pot, but I have that come up a little higher. Okay, then we're going to put this one. This is the Moody Mauve. That was bubble bath. So we've got some of the branches and the little palm fronds or leaves out of Blackberry Bliss, Moody Mauve, and bubble bath. Okay, so I've got those at 2 different levels. Now we're making sure that all this is going to fit in our little pot. You just keep trying it. See, that's a little low. Okay, so we may, but this works. So we'll get that on. She says, as she dropped her glue. Alrighty. Now we're going to cover that up in the middle there. Kind of leaving the top part open. And put that in. See if we're still doing okay with our vase, because you don't want them to be coming out of the side of the vase. See, we're going to have to cut that little stem off. Might be coming out of the vase. We don't want that. See how we want those. Should not have taken the backs off of those quite yet. Okay, does that cover up enough if I leave those like that? I think so. Okay. Let's get these down. Get this one down. And we're going to the Girl Scout event here in Lubbock tonight called Desserts First. That'll be a lot of fun. They have a silent auction and lots of desserts that various chefs around the region have created awesome desserts from Girl Scout cookies. So very creative desserts. So that'll be fun. Okay, got that a little bit crooked. And see how I'm kind of bending the vase on the sides like that to kind of curve it outwards. And you can use your blender pen or a blending brush and make that a little darker on the sides too if you want. That'd be a better idea but to do before you put it on your card. But I think this gives it some nice personality. I think we're going to cut in between those. Maybe cut a little of that off just to have some variation there. See how that split that up a little? Just seems like too big of a clump. And who needs a clump? I'm going to take that out. And then get rid of those sharp edges there. You don't want a straight cut across line. Now, what are you thinking of that? Y'all like that? Hope so. Hope you're enjoying this. And I think that may have been too much with the double. I'm going to take that off. I think that's just too tall. See if I can get those off. No, I can't. Well, I'm going to give it to her in person anyway, so I'm not going to try to put it in an envelope. So hopefully that will be just fine. And we'll just do the little happy birthday banner across and be done. How about that? I usually offset things, but okay, let's see. If we do that, we could do, I was thinking about putting a little ribbon. This is, no, too pinky. We've got the bubble bath ribbon. I was thinking I might just put this with that little bit of silver. Thought that might be pretty to go underneath here if we want. Or we could do, let's see how the mauve's a totally different color. I mean, it's similar, but this has more red in it, I think, and not as much pink as the cardstock does. So let's see what we can do with the birthday thing here. I'm going to, let's see if we want this straight or we want this just in the middle. We want this above with the ribbon below. I don't mind that angle. What do y'all think? Anybody? Okay. Let's see. Let's try it, and I should be using my nice ribbon scissors. Let's see where those are, right here. Let's see how we like this idea of doing them both the same way. Or do we want to do it like this? Nope. Definitely not that. But this is pretty. Or do we want a bow? Do you want to try a bow, or is that too foo-foo for these, for this setup here with the flowers? We could try one. See what we think. This has the nice little silver edging on it, and it comes in a combo pack with Lemon Lolly and Azure Afternoon and the Bubble Bath. So, of course, I've lost my end. There we go. Let's start that over again. Shall we? Okay. Maybe we want this on one side. Of the little base. And then the happy birthday above. Or we could do it this way. We could put that there. And the happy birthday like that. See if I can flatten that just a little bit. Where do we put the put this up here, behind here? No. I don't think I like that. That one doesn't make sense to me. I'm just playing here. We'll see what y'all think. I think it could be a little smaller. Y'all are kind of seeing it from a better angle. I guess I'll look up there, see what we think. Haven't heard any comments either way, so maybe that could work. I don't know. What do we think of the bow tucked behind there and then just the happy birthday? Kind of think it needs to be down here. And that may just be that the bow is just too much. Too much. I kind of think it is. Okay, I may go back to this. Maybe the simple little happy birthday with the ribbon banner is better than the bow. I'm thinking the bow is just too much, too unwieldy. We got a lot going on here. We may want to even do that straight. Do we want to do that straight? I'm about to let y'all go. I'm not sure what time it is. Let's see how much time I have left. Okay, not much. I think I'm going to cut one piece straight and leave that crooked in case or not crooked, but slanted. I think we're just going to put that on here. And there are definitely two sides to the ribbon. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it, but I think I'm just going to do that right there. And I guess what we'll do, move all this out of the way and put this on with some Stampin' Seal. I'm going to go ahead and put this all the way on the back, get that started. Whoops, that was messy. So it popped up on the top there and made a mess. That's what I was trying to avoid, but I didn't avoid it. Okay. Which side of the ribbon do we like better? I think we like them both equally well. Okay. We're just going to have that glued like that. And then Hopefully that end will stay. And I've already got sticky on the top there, so that should be enough to just do our happy birthday right on here, but maybe not. Might need to glue it. Nope, not so sure I like that ribbon. Okay, we're gonna do without the ribbon. Now we have a sticky back here. Let's see. Let me see if I have another happy birthday already stamped by some chance. Nope, but I'll show you how we can fix that. Let's see. I think maybe I might like to do this better than the ribbon. Why, yes, I do. Okay, that's what we'll do. And I'm just going to stick glue right in that center part right there to hold on to here where the dimensionals are. I like that better. Hopefully y'all do too. Hope you've enjoyed this little crafting session. Hope you'll tune in to my channel and please share with anybody you feel like might enjoy a crafting afternoon or crafting evening, learning something new. And we have our card ready to give to Tanya tonight. Yay! So this is out of that glimmer paper, like I said, subtle glimmer paper. That's die cut out of Moody Mauve. So Moody Mauve, Blackberry Bliss, Bubble Bath, and the Moody Mauve DSP. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope to see you again soon. See if there are any comments that I need to, or questions I need to answer. If you need anything, any Stampin' Up! Products, I'm happy to help you. And if you don't have a new holiday mini catalog, I'm happy to send you one of those too if you don't have a demonstrator already. Thanks again for tuning in. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks so much.